Okay, well, in a sign of the times, Mark Zuckerberg wants half of Facebook's employees to work remotely by 2030. Joining us with more is corporate consultant Mo Vella in New York this morning. Good morning to you, Mo.
Good morning to you.
Well, what do you think of Zuckerberg's announcement? Do you think this will actually work? Half of the employees to work remotely by 2030.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that my mom used to tell me growing up, from all bad can come some good. So, one of the things that's good that's come out of this pandemic is that we've proven that we can effectively use a remote workforce model and still be productive and efficient.
Mo, my
Excuse
question
me.
is, what's going to happen with all the ping pong tables and the couches and the pods and, because it's a fancy office, a new wave office, it's thrown out the window. You just get to sit on an old chair at home.
Well, there are a lot of benefits to sitting on an old chair at home, right? That's one of the things that all the studies are showing from this remote workforce model. And that is that you have a more productive workforce because, believe it or not, it's counterintuitive, but there are less distractions. We're more focused. And guess what? We're happier because we get to do it in the comfort of our own environment. So that means a happier, healthier workforce is a more productive workforce.
Mo, there's also the flip side to that, and I have been working from home and coming into work a little bit in the past 8 weeks, but I have been really looking forward to coming into the office because of the interaction. I have missed that. So if everybody works from home, there is a danger that they're not going to communicate. You're not going to chew the fat. You're not going to come up with great ideas in the hallway or in the tea room.
Well, that's an interesting concern, and it is a legitimate concern. But I think what I have been saying across the world during this pandemic on this topic of remote workforce management is that in order for it to be effective, healthy, functional, keep us mentally healthy, and provide us that connectivity that you're referring to. That's important to create and keep our cohesion as a workforce. We have to be innovative and use virtual happy hours, virtual birthday celebrations. We have to communicate more often, right? So we just got to use video conferencing, file sharing, software like ours at my company, Transparent Business, that manages remote workforce. And all using technology and the solutions, we can still chew the fat, as you say. It just won't be at the water cooler, but it'll be this way where we can see one another, we can see each other's eyes, we can stay connected, we can listen to each other. Virtual's just fine. It's working just fine. So Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey at Twitter was the first one to do it last week. We're headed in this direction. It works, it's healthy, it's productive, efficiencies remain in place. I think it's our new normal moving forward.
How do these guys plan to do this over the next 5-10 years? They've made the announcement, but is there actually a plan in place?
Oh, absolutely, there's a plan in place. Again, I think what's happened is we were forced to do this remote workforce because of the pandemic. And I think everyone's been pleasantly surprised, employer, employee, and everyone involved in the ecosystem. By the way, a lot of people forget to acknowledge this. It is helping the environment. Carbon emissions worldwide are down 17%. It helps the economy. Employers save on the average $11,000 per employee per year using a remote workforce model. So you can bet that Zuckerberg and Dorsey and all these major companies have a 5 and 10-year transition plan because it makes sense for them and it makes sense for their employee. And the work-life balance for employees in a remote workforce setting is stratospherically greater. Everybody wins, Beck.
Mo, what do you think is the instigator, though? Is it financial or is it the happiness of your workforce, or you can't split the two?
I think it's all of the above, right? It's financial benefit to the employer. It's more productivity. It's a happier worker. The environment benefits, the economy benefits. And by the way, a lot of people forget to talk about this. Single moms who weren't able to enter the workforce because they couldn't leave home. Now they get to under this model. People with disabilities who physically couldn't make it 12, 15 miles to ride a bus or a train or drive a car into a work environment can now work from home. So socioeconomically disadvantaged people, excuse me, also now get to be a part of the workforce. And there are no geographic boundaries. It's a global workforce. Everybody wins back.
Yep. All right. Well, I like it. I like it indeed. I don't know how we go into terms of producing television from home solely, but we'll get there. Thanks very much for your time, Mo Vella in New York.